Hi students. In this session, we will be learning how can we create our account on the Tinkercad platform. For that, we will be first searching Tinkercad on our browser. I am on my browser and I search for Tinkercad. Then on the first link we will be getting is for Tinkercad. Then we clicking on this. This will take us to the home page. Okay, so on the top right corner there will be two options, login and sign up. So as we are creating a new account, so we will be clicking on sign up. Next thing, there are two options here. We won't be discussing these two options right now. We will be discussing on this on your own. So this is creating a personal account. We will be clicking on this. There are a lot of options in this, like Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook. You can use your own email ID if you have, or you can use your parents' email ID. With this, I'll going with this sign in with Google. Okay, I have already logged in with my two email IDs in this browser, so it is showing this. If you don't have this, you will be getting a screen like this. So put your email here, next put your password. So I have already saved this. I'll be clicking on this and this. Now this creating an account. We'll be going to search for India. Next put your date of birth or your birthday. I can't find it. Next we will be putting next. Okay, there are some privacy and terms, you can read them. I'll put continue. Now my account is created. We can go into 3D designing from here, circuits from here, code blocks from here, and like this. So we have successfully created our account, and now we can 3D design anything here. So thank you. Hi students, in this session we will be covering the understanding of Arduino Uno pins. So before we start building Arduino projects, it's important to understand how Arduino Uno board and its pins works. We will be exploring different sections of the board and learning what each pin is used for, and you will know at the end of this lesson which pins are used for LEDs, which pins are used for sensors and motors, and all other components too. So we shall start. So this is our Arduino Uno board, and what do we mean by this Arduino and Uno? So Arduino is basically the company's name, and Uno is the model of this board. Okay, so first we will start with the main microcontroller here, which is this black chip. This packaging is also called dual inline packaging, DIP, and this components name is, you have to see written here, Atmel. Its manufacturer's name, and the ATME6A328P is the microcontroller's name. Okay, and this board is basically just extended its legs like here you can see. These are also connected directly to this pins, but on the upside down. Okay, now we will be starting with some basic components. So I have written those names here. So this is the reset button, which is used to reset the whole board when something goes wrong. It's like how you restart your computer. Also, this is here a quartz crystal, which is a type of clock for this board. This is a DC jack which can take from 6 to 12 volts. Similarly, you can also supply 6 to 12 volts on this V-in pin for any of your projects. This ICSP is in circuit serial programming, in which it is used for further applications which we don't require for our basics. Other than that, in this digital section, these 0 and 1 pin are not really used for digital input outputs. These are used for UART, which means Universal Asynchronous Receiver and Transmitter. I have written in the wrong form, but it's okay. Also, you can see here something written as PWM with a wavy sign. So this PWM means pulse width modulation, and it's used for dimming LEDs, controlling motor speeds, and more things. Okay. So now on the power section, we can see there are two ground pins, one 5 volt pin, one 3 volt pin, one reset pin, and one IO ref. Okay. So in this VN pin, I already told you it is same as this input jack. It can take up from 6 to 12 volts of input, and then you can take two grounds from here, one 5 volts from here for different sensor applications. Some sensors require 3.3 volts, including a OLED screen that also needs 3.3 volts for its working. Reset pin is used for the reset of this board if you want an external button other than the existing one. Next, moving on to this analog section, we have A0 to A5. That means we have 6 analog pins. Also in those pins, we have two pins that are for I2C communication, that is used in LCDs, OLED, accelerometers, and more sensors also. Except these pins are used for connecting analog inputs or analog outputs. Moving again to the digital section, we can see we have already excluded 1 and 0 pin. So from 2 to 13 pin, we have our digital input and digital output pins, and one ground pin and one AREF, that means analog reference voltage, that are used in complex circuit debugging. So we will be discussing it some other time. So now we have basically learned about these pins. So let's see how we use those in real time. So next I will be moving to Tinkercad. Okay, so in this simulation we will be seeing the digital read section. You can see the code here. It's reading the button which is connected on the pin 2. As we start the simulation, we will be seeing the output on the serial monitor. Let's see, as I push button, you can see as long as I hold, there are ones on the serial monitor, and when I don't click anything, it's always 0. You can see. So this is how digital read works. So this is a digital write simulation. You can see here in the code, this code sets high the pin for 1 second and then sets low the pin for 1 second. You can see here it is not mentioned the pin name because this 13 pin is already built in connected to the Arduino Uno. So as we start the simulation, we will be seeing that the LED turns on for 1 second and then it will be turning off for 1 second. You see time here, so it will be getting 1 second when it reaches 1000. It's in milliseconds. So see, right now it will stop. We can change the time to like 0.2 and 0.2 seconds and then start the simulation again. So now the blinking will be a lot faster to notice. See, it changes every 200 milliseconds. Now in this simulation we have a soil moisture sensor that is connected on the A1 pin of our board, and there are digital outputs on our digital pins. So as we start the simulation, you can see right now this LED is on. Also we can see the code, what is inside the code. So this code also gives output on the serial monitor. As I increase the moisture on this moisture sensor, the changes of values are here, and you can see also as these values are changed, different LEDs will get turned on and off. Yes, here you can see. Different LEDs turn on and off depending on the value of the soil sensor. Next, similarly, we will be moving up to this. So this is a stress sensor that changes value according to the stress that is given on this stress sensor. So, and the output is taken from the digital pin. So the pin is connected to pin 8, and this stress sensor or flex sensor is connected to the analog A0. So as I change its angle or put stress on it or flex it, the LEDs turn on or off according to that. You can also see the code of it, and also we can see it on the serial monitor. As I put stress on the flex sensor, the values change. So how this is different from a digital input or output? So digital input only have 0 or 1 as an input or as an output, but in case of analog input or analog output, we have values differing from 0 to 1025. So now we will be seeing a simulation for analog input and a brightness controlled output. So as we start the simulation, so right now you can see the LED is like kind of off. As I increase the potentiometer, the LED's brightness also gets increased. You can see here. You can see in here the code. The code reads the analog pin, that is A0, where the potentiometer's pin is connected, and the output value is mapped between 0 to 255, and then the output value is set to the pin 9, and where the pin of LEDs is connected. We can also see on the serial monitor what is getting outputted right now. As I increase the potentiometer, there is changes in the value and the changes in the output value too. That is how analog input works. So this is the end of this session. Hope you learned something new today, and thank you.